Hello there, Michelle Short here for My Favourite Things. Today I have a Sweet as Honey bear scene card to share with you. So let's get started. I am taking the images from the Sweet as Honey bear stamp set. They're absolutely adorable, as you can see. And I've stamped the branch with the beehive, the bear with the honey pot and two of the bees onto some white cardstock using black ink. I'm then going to colour the images with Copic markers. Ordinarily with colours for wood, I would use the E5 kind of line of colours, but I'm actually using those for the bear. So instead I decided to use the E2 markers. So I'm starting off with E29, blending that out with E27. Blending that out further with E25 and then finishing off with my lightest shade, which is E23. For the leaves, I'm using G29 as my darkest shade, blending that out with YG17. I did add a base layer of the YG17 first just to help with blending, and then blending that out further with the YG23 and then finishing off with the YG01. And these are my go-to shades for any greenery. For the beehive, I'm starting off with Y17. And I'm just going around the outside edges here. I wanted it to be slightly darker on the right hand side. And then adding the yellow areas of the bees and then also on the honey and the honey pot as well. Blending that out with the Y15. Then blending that out further with the Y13. And then finishing off with the Y11, and then I decided that that wasn't quite dark enough, so I'm going in with YR27 and just adding in some more darker shades with that. And then I am going back through the other Copic markers, the Y17, Y15 and Y13, just to make sure that I get a really nice blend of those colours. And then I did get a little bit of bleeding around the bottom of the beehive, and I'm using the colourless blender to try and push that back in. It didn't quite work, so I am going to go over that with a white gel pen later. But it's quite handy sometimes that if you want to try and sort of push colour back in, you can use that colourless blender. And for me, it works most of the time, but there are a few occasions where it doesn't work. Then for the black areas on the bees, I'm using C10 and C7, and these are just absolutely tiny. So I apologise that my head's getting in the way of the screen there, but I really did have to kind of lean over to see where I was colouring with those. But they are so cute. For the wings, I'm using B00 and B000. And then for the bear, I'm using E59 as my darkest shade. So I'm just mapping out the areas where I want it to be the darkest with this colour here. Again, I'm focusing more of the darker shade towards the right hand side. But because bears are round, I do want to add that darker colour on the left hand side as well, but just add less of it. And then blending that out with the E57. And then I can go in with the E55. And I'm just leaving a really kind of smaller area just to add in some E53. And then I'm just going back in with the E55 and the E53 just to try and get the blend that I want. And then for the nose, I used E57 and E59. For the ears, I'm using R12 and R000. And then for the other areas on the honey pot, I'm using some more brown shades, but this time I'm using E37, E35, E31, and finishing off with E30. So I'm using quite a lot of browns, but 3 different shades, and they do all look, you know, quite different from each other. I'm then taking the coordinating Sweet as Honey dynamics, placing those over the images, and then I can hold them down with some low tack tape. I'm then going to run those through my die cutting machine, and then I can just pop out the images. And because those bees are absolutely tiny, I did need to cover them completely with that tape. And once I popped them out, I realised that one of them wasn't quite lined up as well as I'd hoped. So I'm going to take some scissors and I'm just going to go around the edge on the right hand side where it's just got a little bit more white area than the left hand side. So it's not going to end up perfect. I could have redone it, but to be honest, just cutting that a little bit with some scissors was fine. I then want to add some grass to my scene, so I'm taking the grassy edges dynamics and I'm taking the one that's straight, and I'm going to cut that from some sour apple cardstock. And then I've got the hot felt fence dynamics. This is one of my favorites. If you've seen any of my videos before, you know that I really love this die. So I've cut that from some white cardstock and I'm just popping out those little pieces inside, just using a pokey tool here. And this fence is just one of my favorites. I love using this to create little scenes. I'm then adding some temporary adhesive onto the back of the grass piece so that I can pop that down onto some scrap paper to add some ink blending on top with Distress inks. So I'm starting off with Mowed Lawn. Now ordinarily when I do ink blending on anything that's grass, I tend to have the darker colour towards the bottom and then lighter towards the top where the grass blades are. But recently I've seen that Rachel Alvarado, I apologise if I've completely butchered her name, but I've seen recently that she adds the darker colour towards the top and then lighter at the bottom, and actually I really liked that look, so I thought I would try it out today. So I'm adding the Mowed Lawn towards the top and then sort of at either edge. And then I'm going in with Rustic Wilderness just to darken that up further, just on those grass blades. And I really love how it turned out, so I'm sure that I'll do this again, having the darker colour towards the top. It just kind of brings out those grass blades a little bit. I've then got a panel of white cardstock that's cut to 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches, and I'm going to use this as my background panel. So I've got the cloud stencil here, which is probably my most used stencil ever. I absolutely love it. And I'm taking Prize Ribbon Distress ink. This is a lot darker than I usually go with clouds. I usually use Mermaid Lagoon, but because my images are quite dark in shade, I thought that I wanted a darker background. So I'm using the Prize Ribbon, and I'm going to have the clouds like at the top be darker than the clouds at the bottom. So I am starting off quite dark here, although I start off light and then build up the colour. So it ends up quite a bit darker. Using an ink blending brush here to blend that on. And then I can remove that stencil and I'm going to rotate it to have a cloud below. And once I rotated it, I realised that for today I decided that it would just be easier for me to ink blend with it on its side. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's not, but for today it was definitely easier to be on its side. So I apologise, it's a little bit sort of weird looking at it sideways, but like I said, it was just a little bit easier. So I added in the next layer of clouds and I just tried to make that just a slightly lighter shade than the one above. And then I'm going to add one last layer of clouds here at the bottom, but I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to interfere where the top of the fence was. I didn't want it to kind of look like the cloud was too low, so I did bring it in at that fence piece just so that I can gauge how far I needed this cloud to be. I didn't want like the whole background to kind of like be filled with clouds. I wanted them to be quite far apart. So just going in here with the ink blending again, and again I'm trying to make that just a little bit lighter than the cloud above. So I can remove that stencil, and then because I want to make sure that it looks like the scene is all the way down, I'm just using the residual ink on that brush and just blending that towards the bottom of the panel, because you are going to see the sky through the fence. I've then placed the panel into the mini Misty so that I can stamp a sentiment towards the top. And I'm taking the sentiment that says, "Hope your day is sweet as honey." So I can just place that on the panel, pick that up with the Misty door, And then I'm going to ink up the sentiment using VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. This is a pigment ink that stamps really nice dark black, and it's very crisp as well, so it's perfect for sentiments. So just inking that up really well, and then I can stamp that down. And I am going to stamp that twice because my background is a little bit darker than usual. I want to make sure that this image, or the sentiment I should say, is as dark as possible so that it stands out from that background. I'm then taking the grass piece, and I'm just using that really as like a placeholder so that I can see where I want to adhere the fence behind. So I'm adding some on point precision glue onto the back of the fence. And then I can pop that behind the grass. So just kind of wiggle that in place, and that's the great thing about liquid glue, is that I've got time to wiggle it where I want it to be. And then I can cut off the excess off the two sides using my guillotine. I'm adding some tape runner adhesive onto the back of the grass piece, and then I can pop that on top. And again, I'm just going to cut off the excess on either side with my guillotine. It's just a little bit easier to do it in layers rather than try and cut through 2 layers of cardstock. I've then added some thin foam tape onto the back of the panel. And then I can adhere that down onto an A2 size white card base. So that's a finished size of 4¼ inches by 5½ inches. I've added some more thin foam tape onto the back of the images, and then I can pop those down onto the card. So I'm just adding that bear there. And then I've got those adorable little bees. I did think about adding the trails of the bees, stamping that onto the background, and I thought that that would look really nice, but I was worried that it might kind of look a little bit too busy for my personal taste. I'm then adding some white gel pen highlights using a 0.8 white gel pen. So most of the time I do tend to add them towards the lightest areas on the images, but I do think they still look nice adding them in the darker areas of the images as well. Not necessarily as sort of highlights, but just as kind of like some more interest onto the images. So I'm just adding those in a few places here on the images, and then I want to make sure that I'm going to go around the area of the white cardstock where the Copic marker bled outside of the lines. So I'm going to add this in a couple of layers. So I added one layer, let it dry, and then added another layer on top just to make sure that that really covers that yellow Copic marker. And then I can add some clear glaze pen onto the bear's nose. And once that dries, that's going to dry completely clear and just add a little bit of shine onto that bear. So that is the card finished for today. Really cute. I just absolutely love that bear, and I'm looking forward to using the other bears in the set as well. Links to the products that I used will be listed in the description bar here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.